is Brett over at Hidden Creek. If you have been watching the last couple weeks, you have seen that we are doing a video series of what you should be doing several months before the wedding in spurts. So go ahead and go back and watch all those videos because today is the last video in our little segment. We are going to be talking about what to do in the final weeks leading up to your wedding, on the wedding day, and post-wedding. So let's go ahead and dive right in. My first thing for you is that you should be finalizing your seating chart. So you already have met with your venue, you've already done the layout, but this is when you should be deciding, okay, these people are sitting at this table, these people are sitting at this table, and making that seating chart. So go ahead and have that done. You should also be packing for your honeymoon. I have found that when packing for trips, I always come up with something that I'm like, oh, I need to go buy that. You don't want to wait until the day of the wedding or the day that you're leaving for your honeymoon to pack and then realize that you need something. So go ahead and pack and get that done out of the way. This is also when you should be finalizing all of your payments with vendors. You need to go ahead and have everybody fully paid and done before the wedding. That's just one less thing that you're gonna have to stress about. So make sure that all of your final payments are paid. And then with that, tips. So your tips, I recommend putting into envelopes and labeling them. So DJ, hair, and makeup, and giving those to either your coordinator or a family member or a friend, one of the bridal party members, someone to pass those out to the vendors during the wedding. So just make sure that you have those tips put into envelopes and labeled. And then you're also going to want to practice your wedding shoes. I know this sounds silly, but if you are wanting to do a grand entrance into the reception and your heels are like that high and you've never worn them before, I always tell people to bring your shoes up here and come practice. I do not mind at all if you want to leave the groom at home and even wear your dress and practice a couple times. That is totally fine, but just make sure that you are breaking in your wedding shoes and that wedding day is not going to be the first time that you wear them or you're going to be a little bit unstable on them. And then also make sure that you're packing an overnight bag for the wedding. So if you are going to a hotel or wherever you're going after the wedding, just make sure you have an overnight bag packed. You're gonna wanna make sure that you gave your photographer your must-have list. So this is a list of photos that you know that you want. Like, I know I want a picture of just me and my mom, or I know I want a picture of me, my mom, and my dad. Make sure that you are sending them a list. That way on the wedding day, they can call out names and it'll make the process so much faster. So go ahead and get your must-have photo list done. You're also gonna wanna make sure that you get your marriage license. Guys, don't wait until the last minute. Go ahead and get your marriage license at least, I would say, 2 to 3 weeks before the wedding. Get it done. So get your marriage license, and it doesn't matter what county you get it in, by the way. Just because we are in Rockwall County doesn't mean you have to get your marriage license here in Rockwall County. You can get it anywhere in Texas. Also, make sure that you're putting together a day of emergency kit. I've done another video about what you should put in that, but go ahead and make sure that you have that prepared. Get your dress steamed, especially if you did bridal photos. Your dress might have got a little bit wrinkled, so make sure that you are getting that professionally steamed. Confirm all of your vendors. Obviously, this goes hand in hand when you sent them their final payment, but just, get some kind of response. Don't just send the money. Get some kind of response as far as, yes, we are still on. Yes, we will be there. Companies close down all the time. Unfortunately, I have had people no-show to weddings and just not show up. So make sure that you are confirming those vendors, getting some kind of either email, phone call, some kind of response so you know that they are for sure locked in and coming. You're also going to want to confirm your toast. So this would be with your wedding party or your parents, whoever you want to give a formal toast during the wedding. Make sure they know about it. Don't spring it on them and then all of a sudden, hey, give a toast. They're gonna look at you like a deer in headlights. Make sure they know about it way before. This is also when you're gonna wanna have all of your beauty appointments. Get your hair done, get your nails done, get your spray tans, get all of that done. Go ahead and have your rehearsal and your rehearsal dinner. That's usually done a day or two before the wedding. And then the day of the wedding comes, yay! So by this point, everything should have been done. The day of the wedding really should be a time that you can relax, have fun, enjoy it. I don't want y'all to have to do anything on the day of the wedding, so make sure that you are delegating. If something comes up, it is okay to ask for help. It is okay to tell somebody else to take care of it. Totally fine. But the day of the wedding, my little tips for you are make sure you are drinking a ton of water. You will get very, very dehydrated. Also, make sure that you eat. You are not gonna get to eat a lot of food during the reception, so make sure that you're at least eating lunch before the ceremony. Eat a snack, eat something. It might be the only time you get to eat that day. Go ahead and give out those parent gifts. That is not something you have to do, but if your parents contributed to the wedding, you might want to get them some kind of memento, a little token, a little thank you gift to give them then. You can do bridal party gifts. So if you want to have cute little cups made for like the bridesmaids or the groomsmen, get them some flasks made, anything like that, you're going to give those out on the day of the wedding. And then my last little tip for you is just have fun. The day of the wedding, the biggest thing I think I could tell you is that nobody's gonna know if something goes wrong. So if you don't make a big deal about it, they will never know that anything went wrong. If it does, which we hope that it doesn't, and that's another reason you should hire a coordinator, is to make sure nothing goes wrong. But just have fun. Don't worry about it. If something is off, shrug it off. Just have fun. Enjoy the day of. And then my last little tip for you is for after your wedding day, make sure that you are turning back in your marriage license. It is not actually a legal marriage until the courthouse has that back on file. You only have 30 days to get that back in. So make sure that you are doing that. Return your tuxes. The guys will get fined if you don't return them within that certain time period. So make sure you are returning those. Freezing the cake, I always recommend that you have a family member take the whatever's left or the top tier of the cake home with them after the wedding so they can freeze it that night. The cake will go bad super fast, so don't wait until you're back from your honeymoon to freeze it. You need to make sure it gets frozen that night. Write your thank you cards. So I always recommend sending thank you cards not only to people that gave you gifts, but also your vendors as well. And then make sure that you are reviewing your vendors online. I cannot tell y'all this enough. I know I've said it in other videos, but I would rather receive a glowing review online than a cash tip, because reviews are how we stay in business. Any bride, anybody that books us reads reviews. So if you leave us a review, that warms my heart. It puts food on my table. It puts a roof over my head. So leave reviews and we will love you forever. So I hope that this video series helped you out. If you have any questions or any concerns, feel free to shoot me over an email, and I will see you guys next week.